You mentioned the period comes at the end of puberty. Are you saying someone can marry and have sex with someone prior to getting their period?
So according to Islamic law, when the body is fully formed because of puberty, the period comes at Tanner stage 4, which is the end of puberty. So yes, when there are signs of physical maturity, then it becomes permissible for the husband in Islamic law to have marital relationships or consummate the relation with his bride. And this is the example of the Prophet, peace be upon him, who married 6.
Before the age of menarche, that's what I'm trying to get.
Before the period.
Okay.
Because you've secured the female right at the beginning, the start of when she will potentially.
But you can still have sex before you start maximizing fertility, right?
When the body is physically mature, according to Islamic law.
Do you know what precocious puberty is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What is it?
It means starting puberty unusually early, like
Can
beyond averages.
Is there anything in Islam that prevents you from, a man marrying a 5-year-old that started precocious puberty?
No, marriage can happen, you can arrange a marriage even as an infant, but that doesn't mean that sex is allowed.
But could a man have a marriage to a 5-year-old, consummate it if she started precocious puberty?
If she starts showing signs of physical maturity, then yes, that's permissible, as I stated. That's
what about
the
age
principle.
4?
If there are signs
3.
So this is something that becomes biologically impossible because precocious puberty,
I have a study that shows it goes as early as 11 months.
All right, well, that's something that the parents would not. See, the thing about Islamic marriage is that parents are involved at these ages. And when you look at the marriage of the Prophet, peace be upon him, to Aisha, her parents were involved. And so she was not living with the Prophet, peace be upon him, even though she was married to him. So the parents have oversight. And sometimes a qadi or a judge can have oversight if the guardians are not capable to make sure that the rights and the physical well-being of a child are not, or a minor, are not harmed by that marriage.
What about, because you've tried to justify sexual slavery after a war. So what if a man finds a 7-year-old, let's say, started her period? Could he take her back as a sex slave?
So that's a whole different debate on slavery and concubinage.
I'm just talking about the minor aspect. Would that be fine?
Yeah, so if a girl is any age, she can be taken as
a sex slave, right?
Yeah, as opposed to being left to die after war.
So women can't take care of themselves. They would need to be taken by the men because they're too incapable of caring for themselves.
Only about 10 seconds left.
Yeah, a 4-year-old, a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old.
No, I'm talking about the women and the children.
Yeah, this is the topic of sex slavery, which is also endorsed in the Old Testament and practiced by Moses and other prophets like Joshua. So that is a practice found within the Bible. It's found within Islam, within the Quran, and it's practiced, again, universally.
And I'll give you a chance to wrap up that sentence, and then we got to go to the next portion.
Yeah, so if you want to condemn Islam for these kinds of practices, you have to condemn Christianity and your entire religious tradition for exactly the same practices, if not worse. So I don't see the logic of this.
We'll jump to Daniel asking questions of Mike. This is going to be 5 minutes as well. Daniel, the floor is all yours.
Right, do you think fornication is prohibited?
No.
So you think fornication is allowed by God?
Oh, no, sorry, I misunderstood. No, I do not think fornication should happen.
Okay, so God has prohibited fornication. Yes? Okay, clearly in the Bible.
Sex outside of marriage is wrong.
And it is condemned by God.
It is condemned by God.
Okay, so which scenario is more immoral? Okay, I'm going to give you 2 scenarios. Scenario 1, a 10-year-old girl who has completed puberty gets legally married with the consent of her parents to a good believing Christian man who is 25 years old. That's scenario 1. Scenario 2, a 10-year-old girl has a 10-year-old boyfriend and they fornicate whenever they want. Which is more immoral?
I don't have to answer that because that's an either-or situation. I say they're both
one
immoral.
or the other. Which one is more immoral?
No, both are immoral.
Which one is more immoral?
Both are immoral, Daniel.
So fornication. So fornication is happening rampantly. Do you have the same kind of feelings of that being evil and wanting to stop it? And you put that big slide about Christians are going to stand against child marriage. I can also put a slide up that says Christians are going to stand against fornication that's happening rampant throughout society.
Yes, we condemn it.
Where?
I'm condemning it right now. Hear me. I'm condemning it.